Hi everyone, thank you for joining us for our first trial webinar series by the APNG camp. So today, Sumith Gamage is going to make a presentation on post-COVID new normal work from anywhere through Redmine. So please, Sumith, please go ahead. Thanks so much for your talk.
Okay, thank you very much, Yang, and everyone. Very welcome to the session today, where we are going to discuss about Redmine. Redmine as a project management tool, we can use for manage the situation after COVID, the new normal situation we are talking about. Of course, Redmine is a project management tool which can be used not only regarding this post-COVID situation, but also for any other project management initiative even before COVID. So, just to introduce myself, I'm Sumith Gamage, one of the APNG committee member, and who was one of the APNG camp chair in past APNG camp we had, and I'm a software engineer and working from the software industry and used Redmine for years. But with the COVID situation, we realized this project management tool can be used not only for the software industry, but also for any other government and non-government organization which are not software companies. So with that initiative, I thought of having the APNG community around this, where we can take it to the regional level. So let me share the current experience in Sri Lanka and introduce Redmine as a project management tool which can be used to work from anywhere. Yeah, so let me take to the next slide. Of course, in Sri Lanka, we have initiated this with few government institutes, one called Geological Survey and Mines Bureau, which manage sand and minerals in the country, the regulatory body, and we did a quick assignment trial with them. This is the site we created and the Redmine installation we did for them. And this was done because of the engineers, the mining engineers. They are not software engineers, they are mining engineers. They wanted to have their own assignment to manage from home. So we introduced this for them to trial it out. So this is one example. In addition to that, now after doing the trial with them, we realized this can be applied not only for this institute, but for any other government organization. So we spoke to Sri Lanka Telecom and proposed this. Why don't you take this as a solution to your customer? What they said is, okay, no, we will do it, but first we want to try it out. So we did an installation for Sri Lanka Telecom, and that's a trial system for them to manage their government. So that was the second initiative we took, and their interest came up. Of course, as a IT organization, we are using Redmine for our project management. So that is the experience we have in our company. We have now almost 3 years of experience in Redmine for our own project management. Of course, personally, I have more than 8 years of experience in Redmine, which was perfectly work for software industry. Then once we pitched this to ICTA, they wanted to take it to the other government organizations. So likewise, the interest around this product built up. So I thought of taking it to the APNG level, regional level, where we can support not only government but also even private organization to run it. And of course, I just want to highlight one another thing regarding something like Easy Redmine. If you are interested in sort of a paid solution, okay, there is a problem on that account, but Easy Redmine, if you go here, this is sort of a cloud hosted as well as a paid solution you can take out, and which has a better view and look and feel and additional features, but you have to pay and get it. So that is a quick introduction where we are in this, and to introduce Redmine, of course, you already know now, it is a free and open source project management tool which can be operated over the web. So let me go to its functionalities to explain you. So number one, how we can take and install. So one of the very famous or common mechanism to do it is using the Bitnami Redmine installation, which let you to do the installation as an entire package very quickly. So I'm not going to take you through the installation process, but you can select your preferred platform and do the installation. Generally, if you are someone who want to play around with it, what you can do is go to on my computer and select whether it is using if you are having the Windows or Mac or Linux platform in your computer, you can download and install it. So this is the easiest way to you to trial it out. I'm not going to go through the installation process, but later if anyone interested, you can contact me. I will help you on that. The second one is, of course, original Redmine that is installing from original repositories. You can go here. The needed installation instructions are there, so you can follow it and install. So that is the second way of installing. So there are many other things like Redmine already hosted option, as I already explained you. Easy Redmine is platform where you can try it out on your own. So that's the installation part. So you can try it out on your own. But we have done an installation at our site, and we have already created a project for APNG. So we are invited you to register there. So if you have registered, fine. If not, you can register to that by following this link. So this is the registration page. Many of you might already have registered. If not, you can register where we will be able to try out things on APNG. Right? So we can enable or disable this self-registration once you do the installation. Then, of course, you will be able to log into the platform. So login interface can be taken from here as sign. So this is where we do the installation, and thereafter Redmine login. So this is basic login where you, if you have already logged in, you can use your username and password to log in here. Right. So this is generally the way we can do the user onboarding to the platform. Then let's go to the features and functionalities of the Redmine system. So once we create a project, we will be able to see overview of the project in the system. So firstly, you can give a quick brief into the project that will be appear, and what are the issues available in this project, and what's the time we have spent on it. If we are managing the timesheet through this platform, and we will be able to see who are the project members of the system. And we can create any number of subprojects under this one. So this is an example of such thing. So we have created, I have gone to, let me go to APNG. So if you go to APNG, this is APNG test project we created. We will be able to continue using this. So you can see I have created many of you as the managers of this project, so you can try it out. So this is about the overview, and the next thing is any activities we do in this project will be able to see under activities. The good thing about that is not only the things you do on the site, but by doing proper integration of email, you will be able to update your assignment or your project via email. In the same way, the updates on the platform or the Redmine will be received back to you as email. So this email integration, if you can do. So this is the activity history we can see on APNG. So you can see few minutes back I sent an email. That email has already come to this. So how to do this email integration and things we will be able to discuss later. But this email integration is a interesting part in the Redmine or project management tool we are discussing here. So then I will touch on the email integration, then how that will be reflected on your email. So let me quickly go to my email and show you. These are the all emails I have received in relation to my projects or my projects in Redmine. You can see the very recent email notification has come from here. So all the email thread will be tracked in your email, the personal email accordingly. So this is the email receiving part. So if I go to one of the email thread, I'll be able to show you how the history has been tracked. So you can see this is in our organization we were tracking even employee recruitment or even trainee recruitment through this system. So you can see all the email communication related to the corresponding activity tracked here. So this will be too much emails for you sometimes. So you can have the control what are the emails you want to receive by simply changing your account. So I'm just going to my account and I can say what sort of emails I should receive, whether I don't want any email or whether I want all the information related to all my projects or anything in between. So based on that, you will be able to have your control on how many emails you want to receive. So that's about email integration. Then let me touch you about time. This is one of the critical feature we are using in our organization, and this is a very difficult functionality we can practically implement in an organization. So if I open here, you can see in our Redmine, our site Redmine, from 2018 to 2020, all our projects, how much hours we have spent on that. So this is the feasibility we are having on this project. So this is about multiple years. Let me take a short period. So we are on, let's take last one. And I will take week-wise. And you can see during last month, how much effort we have on spent on that project. Not only that, I can go to the level of activity if I want. Then I can see, okay, in project, in which activity we have spent time. Not only that, I can go even to the level of user and who has spent on time on this thing. So those things can be tracked the level you. So this is the advantage we get. Not only that, if I go to this detail, you can see the updates of the time log. Okay, I'm on yeah. Here you can see up to 30th, everyone has updated their time log, all the things. So very recent updates are available on this time log. So the detailed update of this information make sure all the reports can be generated. But this is not a big deal to update those things. You know, you don't want to maintain any separate timesheet or anything. What you have to do is simply go to your ticket, any of the ticket we are talking about, and go here and do the time log update. So this simple activity by each and every user will make sure the needed reports are generated on time log. So this is the other feature. So let me go to the issue management. Of course, you saw this first summary. Okay, let me quickly stop the middle and check with you all. Do you see these issues I'm showing you, a list of issues? Sangyang, can you see my screen and can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
Okay, fine. Let me continue. So here we can see for a particular project, what are the tasks, the list of tasks available. And of course, we can have the customized report on which you can see here at the user level or as we want to configure. For example, here you can see taking the very first assignment here, the issue number, what has to be done, and the due date, all the information can be captured from here. Not only that, you can, for example, you know, this is for a particular project I am talking about. But if I take all the projects, I can see all the tickets here, or all the issues, all the tasks. But it is, you know, too much. You can see it's a big list. We have 130 issues. So I'm not interested looking at all of them at once. So we want to have different sorting. For example, I can sort them from due date, or else I can group them by user if I want, or by project. For example, let me group them by project. So I can see, you know, different projects, what are the tasks available, and so on. If I want to customize the view from, for example, a assignee, I'll be able to see, you know, who has what work to be done. So this is by the user. Not only that, we can do our own filters. For example, I can go to the particular user and see only that person's task. So we can have different focus and different ways of filtering and, you know, customizing our reports based on this. So we are managing all the issues or all the tasks through this platform. Then about backlog and the roadmap, how to manage our roadmap. So let me get one example here and show you. So this is in our organization, we define our milestone monthly wise. So what we target for this month, what we target for next month, and so on. So this is our roadmap milestone for 2020 May 05. So you can see we have completed or closed 22 issues, and all the issues can be listed here. Not only that, what's the time we estimated and what are the time we have spent. So what's the breakdown of it? This is tracker wise. If I want to see the signee wise, who has completed what, and if I want to see, for example, status wise, I can see 19 of them have been closed, but 3 has been rejected. So all these details can be checked against our milestone. Not only that, that is what we have completed. So let me go to our roadmap ahead, or what we have to do ahead. So you can see for the month of July, we have 131 issues and 7 has already been closed, 124 in open. And the total green color say 7% is closed, but 55% has partially completed. So on our target, this is the percentage completed, or how we are planning to complete our roadmap. We can see. So this can be implemented as per the way you want. So this is about roadmap and backlog management on Redmine. So what about documentation? In our projects or in our assignment for anything, we want to manage our document. So one of the good thing about Redmine is it comes with wiki. So this is an example in our organization. On our project, we can maintain our document, how to upload a live server. We have given all the instructions using text as well as the images incorporated. So we can maintain different wikis for different projects. So for example, in our organization, if I go to process, all our processes are defined here. How to take leave, how to have the scrum note, how to do the time upload, and so on. So we basically run with a lot of training. They come for 6-month training period. So we want to train them at the beginning. So this is a tedious task. So what we have done is we have maintained our entire organization process on wiki for Redmine, and we get them to update when there is any amendment to be done. So that is how we do the documentation. Not only that, Redmine has all the functionalities like news. So this is, I'm just taking in our organization, we don't maintain the news, to be honest. So I'm just taking out of Redmine. So you can maintain your news in the same portal. So if you want to communicate things to the customer, you can use this portal. So that is support of Redmine for the same. Then let me show you the calendar feature. So calendar you don't want to maintain separately. Once you manage your issues, it automatically once you maintain your task, it automatically maintain your calendar. You can see our milestone to be completed on 30th, that is end of last month, and you can see the new task started by this green arrow. It says on this date is the start, and you can see this dot, the square shape that says this task start on the same day and finish on the same day. So you can see this task to be completed on this day. So all these calendar has all automatically updated once you and your team maintain your task. So of course, if you go to paid versions like Easy Redmine, it has advanced calendar feature. You have multiple functionalities. Then what about the project Gantt chart? So this is something project managers or the management of the organizations are interested. So you can see we have pending work for this project, and the Gantt chart has been automatically generated. Not only that, I mean, this is the particular project Gantt chart. What about all the projects? So you can see in the organization all the cross project functionality and cross project interrelation is shown here. So this is too complex. So one is we can get into the one project level, or if you want, we can see the overall project, or else we can go to the user level. We can see the project plan for a particular user. So you can see this is a single user. He is involved in multiple projects, and we can see the interrelations of them. So this visibility we can take for the project management through the Redmine. So that's about Gantt chart support. The other nice thing about Redmine is out of the box it is mobile responsive. Let me show you. So this is the web view. If I simply go to mobile view, you can see it's nicely arranged, so it is well displayed on mobile as well. So all the functionalities which are available on the web is available on the mobile also. This is as the responsive mobile web, but of course, there are available mobile application also, freely available mobile application, or else this has the API where you will be able to implement your own mobile application or the tools as you want. Needed integration can be done because everything on Redmine is available through open API. Then this is one another thing. Of course, in Redmine it is supporting third-party plugins. So if you want anything which is not available out of box in Redmine, you will be able to search for third-party plugins. If available, you can integrate. So two examples I have already shown you. One is OpenID Connect. So this will let you to integrate your existing login or authentication mechanism to this, or even SAML plugin, and many other. These are few to name, but there are a lot of other plugins available. So one of the interesting plugin is Agile. I guess this might not be that important or that interesting or that heard for anyone outside software engineering, but Agile plugin is very easy to manage. Let me show you. Right. So this is the Agile plugin. Generally in any organization, they used to have meetings. At the meetings, we want to have a dashboard view of our progress, and we should be able to quickly change our decision, what is in progress, and who should we undertake the things, and based on the status update, we can do the drag and dropping and to change the status of it. So this is the Agile plugin. This is a free plugin available. If you are interested, you can install with your Redmine. And of course, that available in paid services as well. Not only Agile plugin, this has free Kanban plugin as well. Here also, in order to manage the Kanban status, you can do the same. So you will be able to update the things here, and accordingly, that Kanban board is also updated. So these are the free openly available plugins which you can incorporate based on your requirement. Then getting into administrative functionality. So what you did so far is as something done by a user. But if you want to implement it to your organization, or if you want to implement it to someone else's organization, we might have to customize the user flow and other functionalities as they want. So let me show you one example. Right. So if you want to go to administrative interface, once you log in, you will not see this because we haven't created you as the administrator. But if you install your own one, you can try it out. If you want to try it out anything with me, I will support you on that. So this is the administrative interface. We can manage projects, users, user groups, and many things. So what I'm talking to you about is the workflow. Redmine comes with its own task type. For example, it has tasks, it has support, it has issues, and so on. However, you might have something to add which is not available. For example, in our organization, we manage leave, planned leave and unplanned leave through this system. So the workflow for leaves are different. So someone can apply for a new leave, and in order to apply, a backup person should agree that yes, I will work on behalf of this person. Then that has to be approved by the manager. Then it has to be accepted by the HR department, and based on that, we will close the thing. So this is the way we can track the history of the leave. In the same way, for example, we have leaves. In a leave, we have different workflow. Yeah. In a leave, we get, as a software company, we get new leads, then we identify their requirement. Accordingly, we arrange a POC, and we go through the life cycle of the lead. We submit a proposal, a quotation, a purchase order, delivery, UAT, invoicing, payment, and so on. So this workflow is a customized workflow for us. So we can do the customized workflow as organization needs. For example, these are HR functions. So we can use Redmine to do the HR functions as lead management. And lead management is marketing or sales function. So we can use that also here. So let me go to one example of lead, for example, or as employees. So let me take, likewise, we have created another workflow for employees. So you can see here we have all the employees tracked in our system, and we know what are the review dates, what are the join dates, what are the last date they are planning to work with us, and what's their resignation, and entire history of these people. For example, let me go to one of these persons. The entire history of this user engagement is tracked on this. So when they have updated the information and so on. So let me take one another example. Here we can see all the corresponding communication with the user. For example, here, let me say. So these are emails we have communicated to the corresponding employee regarding their employment or getting their details for the bank and so on. All the things are tracked here, including their payments. So this way, we will have to make sure we have the correct history track of the employee electronically. Otherwise, we have our HR department who is maintaining all those stuff on paper, and it is very difficult to manage and search. You have to go to the office and do it, but it's you to check everything online. That's all about the features I want to talk, unless you want to ask any more features. Before going to them, does anyone has any question to raise, or shall I continue?
I think you can continue, and after you finish, we can go for discussion session.
Fine. All right. I'm just showing you this Redmine is not, though we are talking about it as a free and open source project. Many of the well-known organizations around the world use it. So if you go to the Redmine website, you can see what are the software, non-software, and government organizations using it, including the university. Let me put one thing, one different slide regarding this. What's the business and operation model? I show you, I explain you what are the functionalities and what are the features. We will discuss in detail as needed on that. But as a PhD or as any organization who are thinking using Redmine to on your own organization, that's fine, that's doable. But here in my objective with APNG have a workflow on post-COVID new normal. I wanted to bring Redmine not as something like that, but as a promoting tool, since it is free and open source, to the organization to become more efficient and become e-organization quickly, so they can maintain the social distance and so on. So how we can operate this, how we can make a business out of it. So number one, of course, free and volunteer model, which is the general model of the university students or the people think of. So that model can implement. But in Sri Lanka, I was pushing this not under that, but other three I am having thereafter. One thing is undertaking the implementation as one-time paid assign. Because once you go to an organization, any of the organization, they want at a low cost, but not at free, because they don't trust this will work. Because the people who are here, they don't have a commitment. So what they want is a strong relationship with the person who is implementing. We are proposing it as one-time job to one, and as a paid commitment to do it. So that is number one. Number two mechanism we do is we provide this as a service. Software is free. We don't know the charge for it. And what we have to do is we have to make sure that has been properly installed, properly integrated, and thereafter properly train the users how to use it, and making sure they are continuing it. Because generally we have the model, as I told you already, there are models working in the internet saying that on top of Redmine we have bundled many features and it's available on the cloud. But still, those products doesn't have the proper user training and hand holding, the direct person-person contact mechanism. If that is there, then it will not have the proper localization of it. For example, in Sri Lanka, I have talked to people in Sumith how an organization like Redmine or someone who is running it on cloud can do that support. So definitely there is a gap where we want to fill. So whether they take the software free or paid software, there is a gap where we want to take it. So that is where we are proposing this. So in this case, initial first 3 months, we will have, lot of work to do, but thereafter it will be, not that much of work. So we are offering 2 rates for monthly service. Or else, we are working with different organizations like Sri Lanka Telecom and ICT agency to roll this out as a bulk. Of course, in that case, we are proposing a revenue model to those organizations. So what happens is, they can bundle up. For example, in Sri Lanka, I'm pushing with the ICT agency, where they have better connected government organization. So you take it as a bulk, and we will support to implement, and any mechanism of getting the volunteers is fine. But if you want, hello, I see a message called internet unstable. Do you hear me?
Yes, I can hear.
Okay, fine. Then let me continue. So that is the second model. The third model, of course, as I said, bulk organization. Or else we are proposing them, if you have any other model, you can go for it. So I wanted to put this slide to think as a PNG on the next slide. Importance of Redmine for today and APA. Of course, we are talking about COVID, and manual processes become very difficult because we want to work from anywhere, and the Redmine is an efficient and affordable solution. So let us to work remotely so we can maintain the social distancing, and we are talking about, social distancing will be there. That will be a requirement. You have to wear the mask for maybe, coming next 1 to 2 years or even more. So as the next generation, how we can assist to the old generation to support traditional business and their industries, and of course government organization also, to treat this, and what we can do. And Redmine is one solution, but of course, we might be able to think of many others. And the very important fact is, this is not the time most of the organization can spend money. So they have the cost concern. So we want to bring a model, and we have to identify model not only in the countries, but also as a community in the region, to provide simple but effective innovative solution. So this is one thing, we are not developing. We don't want to develop, and we cannot do it, because development of the software itself will take effort and time. So we have to think what are the best tools to use out there. And of course, Redmine is one. If you feel any other such tools we can use, but that should be effective within a short period. So we can, innovate on product, also we can innovate on the process. So we can get together with the volunteers and university students and push this through in local communities. So this is an example. Let's think what are the other such possible things. So we can build it on the Asia Pacific region. And one last thing, from the last slide I said, let's see whether we can get the fellowship supported. We are talking about fundraising, the fellows to come, they have to find their articles and the cost of staying in a campaign, camp. So how we can utilize this sort of model where we can assist or we can support the local industries. Meanwhile, we can get that funding around, for those people who are supported to get the PhD fellowship. So this is something I want to plan, and we want to discuss as a PhD, how to take to that level. What we can do as a PhD, so that is the problem, right? So we can undertake Redmine installation. on the government clouds as they available in Sri Lanka, and I guess many of the other countries also have, or is for private or even the government organization. We can do the installation on their outside. So we can remotely connect and do it. That we can do. And of course, there are many of the hosting providers out there, the cloud services, we can install the solutions there on that. So we can train a team, or we can work with a team where we will be able to do this support. And this is localized. That is very important fact. In Sri Lanka, we have to have people who speak Sinhala or Tamil to do this. In other countries, it will be their own local. So the other things like email integration, other plugin configuration, these are certain technical stuff. So we can form a team which we can support on these on any other country as needed. And of course, SMS integration or any other on-demand customization to be done, we will be able to undertake. And product training and handling all these sessions. Of course, we will be able to conduct seminars like this, webinars like this, and we will be able to train local teams to go out and do it. And we will be able to run 24/7 on-call support. This is by using simply mobile. Right? We are not talking about complex things. In every country, we can have the on-call support by introducing people. Of course, if we get the customers, or if we get the organization interested. And of course, we can plan the remote and on-site support for the people, the organization to do the needed troubleshooting and user assistance. And in certain cases, we realize, definitely, mainly the government organization, they are interested in getting resources on site. So we can plan for providing that sort of thing as a recognized organization. So APNG can do work in addition to making the connection between people. So that's all from my side in today's session. But of course, any of your concern or question, I can answer from here on.
Thanks so much, Smith. That was an interesting talk. And from Khan, Kasif, and Asik are going to bring up short discussions. There are discussions for this webinar, so they will take time to give Smith and Smith the comments and also raise the interesting questions. Khan, please go ahead.
So Smith, really interesting, and like you have explained it very well. Can you for the understanding purpose, the software is useful for small organization or mid-sized organization? It's more suitable for large organization.
Right. Number one, I will tell you on my organization. We are having right now about 16 people working on our software company. So we are using it. So for small organization, this is perfectly working. But before starting here, I was working in an organization where we were having about 100 employees, another software organization, and that was perfectly working there. So if you are asking a middle-sized organization, yes, this definitely works. And for the other question, how it works for the large-size organization, personally, I haven't involved. Number one, I want to tell you that. But of course, if you check the Redmine as the Redmine project itself as an open source project, it is run on Redmine. So that definitely work on large organization. It's not the technology we're going to trouble here. It will be how you are training and how you are implementing it, how you make that simple to get. So that is how it will be effective when you are going for the large organization. Of course, large software organization, you will never have a problem because they know it, their bread and butter is this. But if you go to a construction industry or the government organization, I have already worked with one government organization as two government organizations, as I told you. One is Sri Lanka Telecom, and I'm talking to Geological and Mine, the Survey and Mines Bureau. Those two organizations are having thousands of employees, but they are evaluating for the moment in the small scale. For example, recently they were trying it out with 50 employees. That was an assignment based, and now the SAT is trying it out with one of the business unit, and they are having about 50 people there. So that's where it is. But as a big organization, still they are interested. So I'm premature to answer on large organization in Sri Lankan context, but of course in the global context, as I told you, that's
Hmm. Yeah. So Tom, your answer, like it's more suitable for small to medium-sized organization because they have some limited budgets or funds to implement the comprehensive project management solution. Now, this leads to an other question, like how much usually typically the small to medium-sized organization takes time in order to implement and really able to use this software?
okay. This what I have done on my proposal for those organizations ideally is to implement in 3 months. Once we talk about 3 months, generally we will do the installation. Personally, at my level, once I get installed, we can install it in 3 days. But generally, we talk about 1 week of implementation, the installation. Then we work with them with a trial. Generally, that is a 2-week trial, which is generally extended for 1 month. So they will ask all the questions and they will, challenge the system and say how to work different features and functionalities they want. So this is generally 2 weeks to 1 month trial out. Then they will get the acceptance, and that is where you generally get a challenge. And of course, as society, we went through that challenge. How to make sure everyone, this initial 2 weeks to 1 month time, it will be the interested who will be joining with you to do it. But thereafter, you will get the people who don't like it. That is the critical time of those 2 months to make sure those are getting on board. In doing that, generally within 3 months, we can implement the solution. Of course, thereafter, we have to keep on continuous tab with the customer or the organization in order to make sure they don't drop it. Generally, after 1 year, generally implementation time is 3 months, but making sure they are not dropping it is a very critical thing. Once you go for 1 year, generally you can bring those, generally what happens is from about 6 months, you bring this system to their KPI. For example, in our organization, in order to get your salary, you have to have your time bound. So that's a simple way of, getting the time bound in the system. And we have our norms in the organization saying you have only 3 places where you can have your work. One is Git, where you have your software code. Number 2 place is Google Drive, where we share the document. Number 3 is Redmine, where you record your work and communication, including the customer communication. As I already showed you in example, you have to make sure your emails are tracked. There you have to do only 2 things. You have to have the ticket reference number and CC to Redmine email. So we implement this, thereafter it automatic. Now, people who are coming to our organization just for 6 months, they start using it from the day one. Why? We have put the process in place. Yeah, Yang, any of your thoughts you can share and go since you have the user.
Okay, Sumit, I think I saw that the Redmine also provides the plugin integration. So my question is from software development point of view, let's say because the developers need to push their codes, right? So is there any plugin available that you can integrate with Lab or other open source, repository tools?
Yes, it is. I'm sorry, I didn't show you that. Let me quickly show that. That's an interesting thing. Here you can integrate any of your repository. You have Subversion, Git, and Vasa, and all the integrated things. So you can integrate it to Redmine. So we don't have integrated it in the Redmine. So what I can show you is show you out of Redmine itself this integration. So you can see the repository history on Redmine. That is an open source. Entire thing you can see all the news, and thereafter you can get the sheets and everything is available. So the integration with repositories are available. Did I answer your question?
Yes, thanks.
Okay,
So, yeah, please.
So Sumit, this is the repository can be how to say linked with a project base, right?
Yes, it is.
Okay. So yeah, so in connection to Kashif's question, I have a concern that you said that small and medium type company is good for adopting this. This is I also agree, strongly agree that actually small and medium type company struggle to have a structured workflow. So this is a struggling good tool for them for sure, but the thing you already mentioned, that user acceptance. So in that organization, if all the employees don't use the tool properly, so that is a big challenge. So how do you think that companies, small and medium-sized companies, can overcome this challenge, this user acceptance phase?
Yeah, this is a good question. This is where I believe we have the best experience. The reason is, no matter which tool, for example, I will give you a good example out of my experience. Now I am running RSIT. Before that, I was working as a general manager and one of the founders for OMPO Private Limited. Now it is one of the leading global organizations. We do telecom products. Initially, we worked with Redmine in that organization. We had about 80 employees, and thereafter we had challenges. There were critical comments. This tool is not supporting well for our job. Then we evaluated critically what are the other possible Give me 1 minute. My TV is hanging around. I will tell him and get back to you. Just 1 minute. Right. Sorry for the interception.
No problem.
Interruption. Right. So in this case, so what happened was we critically evaluated, and thereafter we went to Jira, one of the world-based project management tool, which runs big organizations. But what happened is, even right now they are struggling in the same way we struggle there to execute Redmine. Why? It is not about the tool; it's about the people mindset. So then, once we started our IT, we took this case serious. We let each and every individual to criticize the solution. Then we gave them enough time to do it. Generally, what the call from employees that they say, we are so busy, we have no time to do the update. This is the very simple answer you get. How we are going to answer it is, you get enough time to update. So if you take 1 hour, take it. But thereafter, it will come to their KPI, and we are, initially what happens is we talk to them and try to solve our problem, because they generally two things happen. One is, of course, they are struggling with the system or they don't know how to use it. Generally, Redmine or whatever tool, they have enough support to update the things, as you already saw. But the thing is, people don't know how to use it. They see it as a complex system. Now I demonstrated this to you. So you might be a person running the organization at the top level and even know this tool is needed. But think about the last person who is going to use it. They have to do only time update only, right? Nothing else. So we have to tell them that you have to do only this. Then they will do it only. So we make the process simple and make sure you are doing it. Then at one stage, you have to definitely bind this to your KPI. So whatever your performance report, we have to take out of Redmine. Whatever the timesheet, we have to take out of Redmine, which is easy than any other thing. Once it's done, they will do it without mistake. In other words, everyone is updating their time block daily basis. Generally, they don't keep overdue tasks at all. If that is seen by me, I just talk to them and correct it. So what I have to do is, okay, let me show you. That is easy to me by doing that. What I simply do is this. I go here and you can see these are all the pending tasks for me. So let me take my name out of this. So you can see, if I take myself out, today is the 4th, right? These are the only overdue tickets pending on this system out of everything, right? What I do is I simply take this sorted list and I start talking to this person. The very first person have the overdue task and check with her what is the problem. So this is the follow-up I'm doing. So I am not following up anything beyond that. So this assure there is no one, generally we have this setup every day stand up. In the stand up, you should never have overdue task. That is the rule. So since that is the rule, everyone do it. If not, due to some reason, she might be sick or anything, or forgot it, all those are accepted. I mean, we are human being. But you can see there is no issue overdue than second. So we are talking about fourth today, right? We are on Saturday. We are talking about Thursday. So we don't have it. So you can see even with my workload, if I go here, I don't have any item overdue than 1st of July. Why? I myself get involved on these things and make sure these are followed up properly. So that way, we make sure there is no person can work without using it. So generally, one thing I did personally is I myself did. And when the things are going wrong, what I do is I myself get in all and see what are the problems we are facing and solve it. So number one, we have to have the top management commitment and the readiness to do it. That's number one. Number two, we have to make the bottom layer has very simple things, not complex things. So in your organization, if you want to sort it out how this balance will be done, then I will give support. So different organization will have different ways of handling it. For example, once I go to government organization, they don't care. Many of the government organization, they have a very simple norm. If you don't work, you can survive. If you work, you will get problems. So how we are addressing such a government organization is that we take their burden. So PGS and we were talking about how to reimburse your telephone bill. The reason is nowadays they are facing a big challenge there because these are organizations around the country. For a telephone bill to reimburse, you have to hand it over to the regional office, then send it to the head office, approve it from the department head, and thereafter send to finance and so on. So, these are physical documents you will never track, whether it has been gone, where it has been lost, and so on. So we are putting that into the pain. Then people will use it, not for their job, but to this sort of thing. That is how we can, slowly push this solution to them. So that is the approach, whether it's a private organization or government organization, how to do it. Hope I answered you.
Yeah, that was a good answer also, and it's really meaningful. I have another question that, yes, actually I have a small startup, so I try to adopt different tools like that Slack, Trello, Jira. So all those tools I already tried, and of course for version control, because my company is also a IT company, so for version controlling we are using some Git. So you know that there are different services like GitLab or some other services. So I was using all those. So of course for version controlling, using the Git is the standard, and without this, no IT company want to maintain anything, and it's cloud-based. So this is one thing we are successfully using. But whenever it comes to other tools like Slack, Trello, even for Jira, it is really I face challenging to adopt all those things, because there are two challenges. One is, okay, for Git, they have to maintain this just for version control. And for other things, they feel it's overwhelmed themselves to make extra pressure to maintain all these different tools for communication, Slack, and for task management, maybe Jira or Trello. So that kind of thing they face challenging. So what do you think from that point of view? So, and compared to
This
other tools, how you compare?
right. Right. Let's take all the other tools out and let's go with these things. Number one, Trello. Number two, Slack. Number three, Jira. Number four, Redmine. Jira and Redmine, I generally consider almost same thing. You know, that's Jira is sort of an expensive tool, has better way of handling things when you compare to Redmine. So I guess you are talking about Jira, right? Jira.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay. So what I generally consider is these tools are same. So if you are facing problem in Jira, that is the same problem you will have in Redmine. So let me quickly comment on other two first. That is number one is Slack. Generally, Slack is not a structured project management tool. It is sort of a communication tool. Generally, you know, Slack is too much things. It is very difficult to find your information. For example, I will tell you in Sri Lanka ICTA, they are using Slack as the open, you know, they are having the concept called open government policy, open ICT policy. So they are trying to do everything to the max they can do in public. So they get into this Slack. During the COVID period, they were doing one project development. I also get involved using Slack, but it is too much communication. Everyone, everything right on there, and you know they even give small comments, and it's too much pop-ups. It comes up. So it is not structured. It is not well planned. So you are doing this and that and everything in Slack. So Slack is a good communication tool. What I believe is, you know, you can leave it open. You know, if you want, you use Slack. That's generally my, you know, in our organization, what we say is, we have, we are not using Slack. Similarly, we are using WhatsApp. You know, everyone, we have a WhatsApp group, we have project-wise WhatsApp group, we communicate there. But what I say is, it is not official. We are not considering that as your official job. When you want to do something quickly, fast, you do it, that's all right. But at the end of the day, your progress is marked only on Redmine, or your work is outcome only on Git or Google Drive. That is the rule. So once we fix that rule, that will be managed. So Slack will not be a good tool if you want to manage the things properly. That's number one about Slack. Number two, Trello. Yeah, Trello is a good agile solution. I have used it in my cases, which is very quick and nice, and look and feel is very good. But of course, when you come to, you know, total project management, other than the dashboard, everything else is not that well set up. So we want to make things simple. So if you are going with Trello, there is no issue. You know, whatever the tool, generally it is good. Trello is a good tool. Slack is a good tool. But how you are going to use it to your organization is the problem. So in that case, what I'm suggesting is we have to have the clear KPI set to this. So in our organization, we have simple rules. Number one, Redmine is our project management tool. You can select any of the tools. That's not an issue. But that is the only place you update your progress and your report progress. And we will take meetings only based on Redmine or whatever tool you say. That is the rule you have to first implement. Second thing, you tell, you know, in our organization, when we were implementing Redmine, they said we have to spend too much time on meeting, we have to spend too much time on Redmine update, we have to spend too much time on this and that. But we said, fine, you spend the time you want. And we created, you know, let me show you time tracking. 1 minute, it's taking time to respond. See if I can take a look. Okay, right here. So let me take here time log. What we used to do is we have these activities. So in these activities, here in our organization, we don't have it actually. Previously in overview, what we did was we gave activity saying time log update, because they said time log update take too much time. Then we said it's all right, take your time and update it. Right? So what they did was they updated it. Then they realized really they don't take time. Generally time log updates take about 5 minutes. Then they realized, putting that time on that is not needed. So that is a very small thing. However, in certain places I noticed, people take 1 hour to do the time log update. Then I check with them. They have done a backlog. They haven't updated time log for 1 week, and you sit and do it. That's all right. If you're updating for 1 week, taking 5 minutes into 7 is all right. So that way, people realize the advantage of it. Thereafter, since the performance evaluation and the discussion and project everything was taken based on this, naturally people came into this system. That's why I said the first 3 months is the critical time. After first 3 months, till next 6 months, if you have already used the tool, we are not talking about these 3 months now, right? So we can consider you are onboarding users, that is for 3 months only. But you have to do this. This has to be done only for 3 months. You have to make sure these problems are addressed. Once they say there are issues, you tell that need to be reported through the system. You take your time. If it is taking 1 day, do it.
Okay.
Because there are 2 things can happen. One is really there is a problem. The second thing is, some people try to take a ride on others. So because of that, they don't want to report their work. So they don't say that, they give valid reasons, which are really valid. And what we have to do is we have to address the really valid problem. By doing that, the other things will go away. So that is the implementation plan I suggest. Whether it is Redmine or anything is okay. I'm not, telling you the Redmine is the solution here. But what I tell is, whatever the tool, how to use it is the really key. I think Justin says Asana, of course I agree. Whatever the tool you are using will be the best suited for you. If you are using a tool, don't try to change it unless you really want to do it.
Okay, thank you for your nice answer. Okay, so any other person have any question? Kashif, if you have.
Yeah. Yes, Sumit, what I can say is the solution has a number of very good and interesting features, from using which you can do all your project management and all those things. That's really good. One of the major thing which I am seeing is, which could be a limitation as well, is the visualization. Okay, you know, the next generation requires a fancy sort of screen with where they can do more or less drag and drop. The only thing drag and drop which I have seen here is in this Kanban board where you can drag and drop the activities here and there. Rest, other than that, the interface is very basic or very simple. So, is there any visualization kit which we can also install on top of it, which gives the appealing impact to the next generation people or the youth and all those?
Yes, if you want to go for that is where these are not available free of charge to be frank with you. Free and open source stuff are not that well fancy in this case, to be honest. But let me share you a screen where you have to try in that case. I guess what you want is this. Easy Redmine. They are a commercial product. I mean, they have the cloud service and so on. And this has all the sort of drag and drop functionalities and everything you are interested. So I'm not going to go into the details of this, but you can go and check this. This has for example, Gantt chart where you can simply drag and drop to change the dates, and it has the view of early start date, latest completion date. Those things are visually shown on your Gantt chart itself. So likewise, all the interested things, including the Kanban chart where you can do the drag and drop, and many other places, the nice view is available. But of course, this is a paid product, but you can do a free trial and decide whether it's worth investment from the organization point of view. You can go for it. Pricing is available as cloud hosted as well as on in-house hosting. So you can go for either option. And second thing, this is about Redmine. If you want to have the look and feel. However, second thing is going to a tool like Trello. In that tool also, what you can see is it's nice, interesting view and look and feel. Where the young generation quickly adapt. I accept and agree on that. However, what I've seen is, once you go to the real project management, where you want, ultimate view and time and other management integration, I still felt, except the fact of the look and feel, Redmine do the best part of it. And of course, if you go to Jira, yeah, Jira is one tool again, do the almost same job as Redmine, but again, it's a considerably costly solution. Did I answer your question?
Yes. I think this is good. Like if you want to expand it, you can expand it by installing these on top of it, this solution, so that like it can give you the requirement that you are looking for. I think that's
yes.
Yeah. So overall, like if I share my comments, is it's a very good tool to use for especially the startups or small to medium organization. They can use it for multi-purpose, bug tracking, project management, even for the sake of communication also. And like you can get all information at one place rather than using multiple different tools. So I think we in fact everyone should consider this for implementing this solution, especially in the case where this COVID-19 is there, where like you have this sitting at one place problem and all those things. So we definitely look to, further market this solution to implement for various organizations. Khan, you are any further comments?
Yeah, thank you very much. And I just want to take any short question from anyone. If you are interested, just ask some short question.
So even from the audience, I think some of the members, the participants, if they have used the Redmine, so if they could pinpoint some of the pros and the cons, please.
Hello. If I understand correctly, you are asking about pros and cons of this tool, or did you ask a different question?
No, Sumit, can you hear me? Can you hear us?
Yeah. Go ahead.
Okay, so if there's any short question from the audience, so
Yeah, actually, Ashik was asking to the audience, not you.
Right. Okay. Sorry.
Yeah. Anyone want to ask question?
I think Saurav, my friend, who's also in this meeting, in this webinar, please use the Redmine if Saurav, you have any points to say.
Okay, hello everyone. Thank you for your presentation. So at this moment, I'm mostly like using a Redmine, but it's for the simple project management in terms of we are using to see the like activity as well as the progress. However, we have not like integrated the agile function as you have mentioned, the Kanban and other function. So it's really like useful, I think, this presentation, so that we can also implement. And also the another important thing that we found is integrating the Git repository. So at this moment, we did not like integrate any like repository in our like a Redmine project. I mean the Redmine like a tracking. So yeah, this is kind of like a helpful for us as well.
Okay, thanks for your comments. Are you using the timing tracking and email integration also? You are responsible?
Yes,
Okay.
we do use the timing tracking and the Gantt chart. Basically, we are tracking based on the Gantt chart. And like we set the target, like a due date, and we just see how many percent the work has been finished. And we ask everyone who is like in our like project to maintain the Gantt chart basically, and also report the progress, whatever, like if it's like 50% done, we just ask them to update each of the tasks or each of the tickets, like, okay, if you have done the 50%, make it like a 50% so that we can basically track our progress in the project.
What about email integration? That also has been done, right?
Yeah, at this moment, we do get the email integration, but it's only when someone like update the status, we do get the email.
All right, but you are not receiving the email.
No, only the status. If someone like updates the status, we get like the email.
One thing you can do is, that make the project more live. If you do that, so even the customer updates can directly get into your corresponding ticket by doing that. So that is one thing you can do to more effective.
Yeah,
okay.
I think that's all from us. I mean, it's already time to wrap up. So I would like to thank Sumith for giving your nice presentation, and it's actually for from a I mean small startup viewpoint. I found it's really a challenging and important thing to adopt a tool, and I also find it really helpful. And I will try this tool in my organization. And I also want to thank others for sharing their opinions and questions. And I thank Shumi once again for his nice presentation. Thank you all.
Okay, thank you very much. You are very welcome.
Okay then. Goodbye. See you next time.
Goodbye.
Bye.
Thank
Thank
you.
you, Sumit, and everyone. Thank you.
Have a great day.
Thanks.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
And Khan, about the recording, right? I think
Yeah,
Yang
yeah.
is not there. So.